What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn, and it was a bit rainy and going nuts yesterday, but I really wanted to give you guys a close-up on the greenhouse. And as you know, it got really tattered. These were really made to be temporary pop-up greenhouses, so wintering it up outside, the plastic really took a hit. Most of the sides, like the top, is broken down. Like the plastic is still shelters from most of the elements and the heavy winds, but obviously it's not water tight anymore, and the water has passed through it. But on the good side, look at my vegetables. Water has actually been coming through the top, through the roof here. And look at my lettuce. I'm actually getting lettuce in the greenhouse, and this is the middle of April. And let me just, the zipper was broken, so I had to use some broken cinder block to keep this bad boy going. But the white cloud tub has got about 3 inches of water in it. And look at all the duckweed in there. I just want to show you something. All right, let me get a little bit of a flake out here, see if I can wake them up, because it's kind of early in the morning here. But these dudes are swimming around in this little 3 inches of water. The water is ice cold, and they wintered up out here, believe it or not. The white clothes have actually did pretty well in there. You can tell there's a lot of poop in the water. There's snails and everything were in there in the summer, but these dudes actually did okay out here. Well, there they are, my little babies, swimming in like 45-degree water. There are about 5 of them in there. Of course, you can see the white cloud, and there's another one behind them. They are all in that little corner, and this water is ice cold. There is only about, let me zoom out, only about 4 to 5 inches of water in my little tub inside the greenhouse. And if I can get a little temperature reading here, you can see that is pretty cold. Hard to focus, but let's just say it's below the green mark. And life finds a way. So I've got some oregano actually growing in here. That's doing okay. Just got some really nice simple garden mix. I mixed it with a little bit of peat. And I'm trying to keep a lot of plants in here along with the fish that I'm going to move in here, just because it gets really humid in here, which is really good for the plants. And the plants actually absorbing a lot of the humidity keeps them from needing a whole lot of water. It does get hot in here and you do have to open it up, but that is actually good for the fish, which I'm going to start preparing for by filling the tubs with water. I usually capture rainwater. I like to use the rainwater to fill these tubs, and this one is 100% rainwater. I didn't plan on using this tank over here because it's kind of wide, but I think I may use this just on the floor like it is here and build a little ledge for the 10-gallon. I'm going to try to do this with one hand, but I actually have to show you what I have in the 10-gallon, which is all the plants that look at this, it's got water in here. This is how much water is coming through the roof. See, the roof is full of holes, and it is actually watering my garden. Thank you, God, doing the work for me. Let's move this so you can see what is going on in here, which is amazingly enough a crap load of plants that have wintered up out. Wow, look at that rotala. This rotala is growing better outside than it has ever grown in my house. And guess what? Did you see how I had it covered all winter? This is New York, Brooklyn, cold winters. People complain about lights. I need LEDs, I need T5, I need this, that. This is good old Lord sunlight. But this was covered up all winter by a solid black ceramic tile. So it is only getting light from the side over there. And look how healthy that Rotala is. I'm going to actually start cutting that and putting some in the pond. That is a whole big clump of Rotala and guppy grass. Yeah, that's beautiful. This is a 10-gallon tank. So you know what? I'm going to build a little shelf here. I'll probably redo the frame. The frame is fine with the greenhouse, but the plastic is just not strong enough to be permanently left outside. And if you can look at the thermometer here, it is just above 55 degrees. And that's in the greenhouse, especially since I opened this up. So yeah, you can do a lot with a little bit. So until I'm ready, I'm going to put my tile back on. I'm trying to do this with one hand because it's heavy. There's a 24-inch tile I was using. I forgot what I was even using it for, but I had some around. I'll be putting my bird feeder up soon, which is down there on the floor. I have the battery-powered air pumps, which I am playing around with. I'm planning on another project for that. A solar-powered aerator, but not the one that I bought, because this one was a bit of a flop. Really disappointed in this bad boy. But I got another project for this. A lot of things you can do with a little bit of space out here. This is Brooklyn. We don't have big yards in Brooklyn. But we do have little spaces. This is a 36 by 30. No, it's about 36 by 24. I'm mistaken. And it's 6 feet high. And you can sit in any little corner. You can actually sit this on a patio. Like some people have patios. But I'd say you have to tie it down. Mine is tied down because it does get windy. So it does come with tie down straps. I paid about 50 bucks for it. About 40, 50 bucks for this whole thing. And even standing in here, it's windy outside. I'm in my little sweats. But in here, you do get sheltered. The side plastic didn't wear. I think it's mostly because of the snow or cold water broke it down. The insides are still perfectly intact. But I'm going to probably reframe it with either 2x4s or probably 2x4s to make it a little more stable. And I'll use some heavy tarp, clear tarp, and redo this with what I got. My bonsai tree wasn't doing good inside, so I moved it outside, kind of throwing caution to the wind. And yeah, this is it. Let's go over to the main tub. Got my tomatoes over here. Everything. Got my raspberries coming up. Let's go over to the tub. We've had a lot. I'll be able to fish in here soon once the temperatures get a little stable. Look at all this rainwater. I put a 5-gallon bucket of tank water in here as well, just to kickstart a little biological activity. And I did see little microbes in here. Just lilies from last year. The bulbs are still in here, so I'm waiting for those to wake up. I have the rock work. I don't add much in here. I have my solar powered box filter. If you want to see how I made that, check that out. Subscribe, check out that older video. And the wood branches, don't add a lot. You don't want to add a lot because, believe me, life finds a way. I'm going to add some of that Rotala in here, maybe a little bit of Kabamba. And between that and the lilies, it will become its own entity. I've been doing this. This would be year 6, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Doing outdoor container gardening and pond work. Not gardening, but raising fish outside. And the water actually, how is the best way to put it? The water cycles, and that's not really the appropriate term, but it becomes a living entity because you have soil in here from leaf litter. The leaf litter mulches itself. This is basically from last year. I didn't completely clean it out. I left it dry in here. It was all on the side walls. And look how the rain has washed it down. It was basically like this. The rain washed it down, the leaf litter becomes part of the biological activity, pretty much like compost, and it just brings this water to life. So when you add the fish outside in the water that is not been chemically treated, it's not been additives not been added, you get much healthier fish and much more resilient plants. As you can see, who would ever think of raising a Ritala outside? Right, and pretty much I didn't expect it to do as well as it did. This is March. The temperature is still like 30 to 40 degrees. And everything's blooming, and guess what? Fish will be coming out soon. Once we get those temperatures in the 60s and better, I will think about what cold water species I can start selecting. And this is D, man. You can do it. It's not complicated, so don't make it complicated. You just need a decent sized container. This is my 6-foot tub. It's a 70-gallon, pretty much a trough for feeding animals. It's like a horse trough. And I got it off Craigslist a couple of years ago. And you can do it too. Covered with the chicken wire. You see how much bird crap I got up here. Got to wash my hands. But if you have soft mesh, something will fall through it. I found that out the hard way. Anything that wants to get in, and this is the proof right here, anything that wants to get in will try to get in. That's why you have wire. And look at that, this stuff's falling through and getting into the water, so I'll just patch that up later, and that's it. Life finds a way. So this is D with an update. Hope you like it. Leave your comments below. Love, peace, and hair grease. It is not rocket science, but there is discipline involved, and I hope you guys give it a shot. See you next time. I'm out.